197 of
The Eldritch
Podblast.
Podblast.
I'm Max.
I'm Jack.
And we are Dungeons and Dragons social commentary podcast. Will be focused on the social aspect of D&D.
We give out advice to players and dungeon masters old and new.
But most importantly, we believe in creating a safe, inclusive, and welcome space.
So that sounds good to you. Welcome.
Hey!
Did you just forget
I did.
how the intro went?
Genuinely, yes, I did.
Yeah.
I was going to be like, welcome to the Eldritch Podblast. And then I was like, no, that's not right. Then I was like, no, that is right. Then I was like, nah, it's certainly not right, is it, actually?
What did you say?
Hello and welcome to episode whatever of the Eldritch.
190,
Yeah. Are you impressed by me? Am I not astonishing?
Are you not entertained?
Are we not astonishing? Hey, we understand that now because we play Baldur's Gate.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, are we not astonishing? The troll.
The ogre.
The ogre, sorry. Oh my
And it's
gosh.
not, are we not? Am I not?
Am I not astonishing?
Yeah, because the other two are just...
Yeah,
ogres.
you are astonishing. Very much so.
Very much astonishing. What was his name?
Glut?
No, that was the making
No. God, I can't remember.
Tell me what his name is down in the
Something
comments.
like Bones or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't recall. Or like Frank. It was something.
Spike.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Something like that. Tell me down in the comments what his name is.
Hi everyone, how you doing? Happy Monday. I hope you have had a wonderful weekend. TGIM, am I right?
Yeah, thank God it's Monday.
Thank God it's Monday.
Thank God it's TGIEP. Thank God it's Eldritch Podblast.
That's all.
Thank
always,
God it's
that's
Eldritch
always what I'm
Podblast.
saying. Actually, yeah, that is actually always what I'm saying. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Got a lot of things cooking in this noggin.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Get cooked.
My noggin's getting cooked right now. In good way. Positive, not
Bro
derogatory.
is cooked.
Yeah, bro is cooked.
Bro is cooked.
Bro's getting cooked right now.
Absolutely cooked.
Yeah. Little bro's getting cooked right now up in this noggin, up in this think tank.
Oh my God.
This.
So you got so many thoughts?
Yeah, I do. I'm good. We watched Avatar last night.
No.
Not The Last Airbender, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, we did watch it last night technically.
Yeah, not The Last Airbender, the one with the blue people.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a great movie.
It's a good movie, yeah.
It's a good movie. I remember I loved it when it came out. Although, the last time I watched it was very shortly after it came out. Before
Yeah, I think we thought we found out it was 2010.
It was yeah, I watched it in 2010. Yeah, it was 2010 I watched it. It came out in 2009. But it was like in that gap where it hadn't come out officially yet, so like my friends just got it like on a weird copy.
On Blu-ray.
Do you remember those days where like you used to be able to go to your family friend who knew someone who would
Yeah, and they got
burn
a pirate.
copy?
Burn a copy. Yeah. I remember that's how I watched Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
Nice.
And it was. I'm not even kidding you. It was literally a dude
in the cinema filming it,
holding a camera. And then, like, sometimes it would, like, move slightly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would, like, people would just walk past the screen.
Yeah. Bring back those days, am I right?
No!
I used to work in the cinema, and...
Hello?
Hi. You gonna say hi?
He's already said hello.
Wow.
He's got an itchy ear.
You are sat very close to your father right now.
He's got an itchy ear.
I see.
So leave him alone.
Yeah, leave him alone. I used to work in the cinema, and if you caught someone filming, you would be rewarded £50,000.
50?
Mm.
Did you ever do it?
No.
Did anybody
God,
ever catch
trust
anyone?
me, I wish. No. I don't think so. No, I think maybe someone did actually in the Cineworld I worked in. But yeah, it's a serious offence. Turns out.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I don't think they do that.
I feel like that doesn't really happen that much anymore, though. You know, with the advent of like things like home movies and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
home releases.
Yeah, you
they
know
just
what I
come
mean.
on streaming services sometimes.
Yeah. Hello, honey.
Which is good, I think, for people. It's also not, you know, the dying art of cinema.
Yeah, the Cineworld I used to work in just recently shut down.
I love going to the cinema.
Me too.
Personally.
Same. I love going to the cinema for the experience of being in cinema. The one near us is really good as well.
Yeah,
like it's been refurbished and it's a really good cinema. But I hate being around other people. You try to go watch a horror movie with the general public.
It's I will never forget it. It's when we went and watched Hereditary,
which you know,
the View in Darlington.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
It was.
We sat next to two girls, and they were they were like teenage girls,
just laughing.
They were yapping
on
the whole movie on their phones, and I just wanted.
Gosh, cut to me. Oh my gosh. being
I just wanted to watch
terrified.
Hereditary.
Yeah, it was. I hate being around the general public. I avoid them if I can. Once again, I sound like normal people scare me, but I do. I hate the general public. So I love going to the cinema, but I hate being around other people.
Yeah, so.
Hey, we spent £700 on this beast yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
We sure did.
Yep, we certainly did. Hey, that's a lot of money to spend.
Yeah, we sure
unexpectedly.
Did.
He's fine. I need to preface this with he's totally fine. He's just old and scrungly, and he's just got loads of skin conditions. And you know what? We gave him some information. They were like, we probably should do some blood tests on him just to rule out a few things. Hey, £700 worth of blood tests? Bloody hell. And I will say, our vet is wonderful. They come around to the house because taking him to the vet's too stressful for him. And
£700 was deducted.
Was the discounted rate?
The discounted rate of they gave us free Apoquel.
Yeah, they gave us free meds,
which is his itchy medication.
Yeah, because someone had donated it back to them.
They knocked off the admin fee from the
for
the antibiotics, and then they did not charge for expressing his glands. So it could have been way more.
But so they're really good vets. You know, they can't help it. You know, she was telling us that the admin fee and the price of everything is astronomical. So I'm certain they probably made a loss for doing that for us. So
I don't know they made a loss.
Well, but, it was good of them to do that, and
it was good.
They really care for him.
Yeah, they do.
And so hey, look, anything for my son. He's invaluable. He's priceless. But bloody hell, £700 felt bad.
Spending £700 on anything never feels
even
good.
if it's pleasure, right? Feels
it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever spent £700 on anything more than like what? Maybe not even my PC. I don't know.
Yeah, in total you spent more than that. Like
on my PC,
the PC, then the monitors, and then like the
I think it'd be
and everything
close.
Like that. I thought you paid $600 flat for just the PC. Anyway.
No, I don't think I did.
Anyway, I've spent more than £700 on things before. Like a new computer. But really, that's it. Car.
That's what I'm saying. Car and a house, maybe a city.
Yeah. Like a couch. Yeah, a fridge. I wouldn't pay more than.
I
don't think I would actually.
No way.
No, I don't think I would actually. Yeah, there's not many things I would spend £700.
So that was not the funnest.
Hey, it wasn't ideal. No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Go.
But anything for my son, and he's on the medication he needs to be now, which is the most important. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Spending all your money. That's what he sings.
There's potentially things on the horizon.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
But things that we cannot speak of now, and if they don't come into fruition, unfortunately, we'll never hear about them anyway.
Yeah.
But, just know, hey, maybe there's things happening.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing to say is thank you once again so much. If you didn't know, we used to post 2 videos a week. We've gone to 1 video a week on a Monday. We're streaming literally right now as you're watching this.
Literally right now as you watch this, you should come over to Twitch as soon as you finish this video.
You should. We would love to see you. We're playing Baldur's Gate right now. We could be possibly still yapping.
Might be yapping.
With you.
No, we're probably playing Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, but thank you so much to everyone who comes on over. A few people from Spotify said they came over, some from YouTube. Thank you. It's wonderful to have you. Wonderful to see you and speak to you in real time.
Yeah, it is.
So please do come on over to Twitch and just see what we're about. We'd love to speak to you. We're live literally right now. Anything else?
No.
No, I don't think there is.
No.
I went to speak.
Speaker.
Speak. Hey, join us on Patreon.
Yeah,
we'd
join
love
us
to
on
have
Patreon. Links down in the description. Come and get some exclusive content from me and Margaret, campaign updates, and exclusive advice for your games campaigns and your players. It's a great way to support the podcast. Come and check us out. If you want to check us out some merch, www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk is a great way to support the podcast as well. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that bell. All goes a million miles to help the video. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Come join us on Twitch. Yeah, that's about it.
Is that it? Yeah, we haven't really been doing anything, to be honest.
Well, the thing is we have, but we can't talk about it yet.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yeah, indeed.
That's the point. We can't talk about it just yet in case nothing comes of it.
Yep, indeed.
But there might be something, it might be a nice cook coming.
But actually might not be.
But also might
not be.
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
All right. Well, today's topic, we are doing unpopular D&D opinions. Bum, 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 bum. You know what? I wasn't sure what episode to plan this week. Hey, I logged onto the Eldritch Podblast subreddit. Teddy, thank you. I know you said you're never going to get over the jump scare of hearing our name.
Teddy
I'm
had
so
the
sorry.
cook.
Teddy did have the cook. Teddy posted this, what's your D&D hot takes? It was posted 17 hours ago when I looked at it. There was over 1,000 comments.
Oh,
me
God.
rubbing my hands together like an evil fly.
Yes.
So, that's what we're doing. Teddy, truly invaluable work. Thank you so very much. If you didn't know, we do have, it's an unofficial Podblast subreddit, but if there's anything that you see that you think you'd like to hear us talk about or we'd be interested in, repost it to the subreddit. I'm not kidding you.
Check it all the time.
I check it every time I plan an episode. Yeah. Every Wednesday, I check it. There you go. Watch me never plan on a Wednesday ever again.
You plan on Wednesday? You plan every Wednesday?
Yeah, I plan every Wednesday.
You plan every Wednesday?
I plan every Wednesday.
So yeah, that's a great way to also help the podcast.
Yeah.
Help the Margaret plan and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what? I know that everyone has their own like favorite thing about the podcast. So a lot of people love the horror stories. A lot of people love Am I the Asshole, the Reddit posts and stuff like that. I think this is my favorite.
Yeah. See. When
there's a fresh batch.
Cook. Yeah, I agree.
When there's a fresh cook.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites.
I agree.
Because I think this is the ones that get the most heinous.
Yeah, or the ones where it's people being like, but I like this, and everyone be like,
or
you're
it
right.
can get vile.
Or it can get horrible.
Or it can get disgusting.
Yeah, it can. There's a mix in this one. I like it when we do it sporadically. I didn't like it when we did it so often because, you know what?
You don't get that many,
it would just piss me off.
Yeah.
Seriously,
people
would just piss me off.
I hate babs.
Yeah.
It's just like, we get it.
Yeah.
Shut
I
up.
hate tabaxi. Okay.
All
right.
Whatever.
All right. So, starting
first
with
one I hate babs.
the first one I hate babs. We end the podcast. So, this is I hate pacifist characters. I actually appreciate a character who isn't a murder hobo, who thinks to look for solutions outside of combat. That's cool. But I've had more than a couple of players who want to play a pacifist who truly will never hurt or kill anything. If your character is at least not prepared for violence, they wouldn't be here. Adventuring is a bloody career.
Yeah.
Combat is the meat and potatoes of the game.
So, this is tough because, look, you know I am an advocate for however you want to play the game.
Totally, yeah.
Like, it's up to you.
Yeah.
It's your game. It's the way that you play it. As long as you're having fun. As long as you're not, like, ruining the game for anybody else. Being hateful, that's fine. I am also not a massive fan of the pacifist.
Yes.
I think, and do you want to know why? It's because I think I will make things evil enough to make you want to do something.
Yeah.
The fact that you wouldn't do something is actually the problem.
Yeah. The thing is, I think there's kind of two versions of a pacifist. Right?
I agree. I think there is two versions of a pacifist.
There's the version of the pacifist who will not hurt anything, won't get involved in combat, and I think that's the pacifist that's hard to deal with. But I think there's also the pacifist who would prefer they will hurt
but never kill.
And
I don't mind that.
The knocking out, they do not take the final blow.
I think that can sometimes be valuable.
Yeah, me too.
Like knocking people unconscious and then talking to them.
Yes, totally.
Especially if you're doing a lot of humanoid fights. Especially if you're doing a lot of fights where things can communicate.
Yep.
What?
Yes. Definitely cut back to session 2 where Josh was like, I want to try and knock them out, and then Lenore was like, I shoot with my gun.
Yeah, but you didn't know.
No, but I do think there is absolutely merit, and
there's a way to play a pacifist that doesn't really. Because the thing is, a lot of people do really enjoy just like fighting in D&D.
Me.
If you aren't even going to hurt something,
I think that's where the issue lies. Unless you play something like a support.
Yeah, you could play support, but I think there's times where I still think you could play a support and say that you'd never do damage. And, haste people, heal people, control, cast slow.
Totally. Put down something like
Plant
a...
growth.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree.
I genuinely believe there is a way for you to play and be extremely useful and not deal a point of damage.
Yeah, I agree.
But there are probably times where it's just like, it's your turn, pacifist, and this thing is about to teleport. It goes next, and it's got 1 HP left, and you're like...
Yeah, I think that's it. That's what it gets in.
That's when it could get a little tilting.
I agree, but I think there is a right way to do it. And you know what? There was a point where with Lenore, because of her backstory, which I shan't divulge right now, obviously, I was like, would Lenore for humans take the final blow? I got over that really quickly because I like to get to how would you like to do this?
Yeah.
I just worked it in a different way. I just went about a different way of why she what happened.
And I think it's a very obvious thing.
Yeah.
And I think it gets the point across.
I
think it gets the point across really clearly.
Yes.
That there's
something going on. Yeah.
So pacifists that don't do any damage. Do you want to know what? It's if you're playing like a barbarian.
Yes.
Or you're playing a rogue and you're like, I'm a pacifist.
I can't possibly imagine that anyone playing pacifist, at least who doesn't do damage, would ever play something.
Isn't playing a wizard, a sorcerer, a cleric, a druid, a bard, anything that can be full support.
Yeah, totally.
I get it.
Yeah.
You'll have to play the right class.
Yeah.
You'll have to have the right mentality.
The problem is I think everything in D&D is so situational.
100%.
So situational, but how cool would it be if you are playing a pacifist character, but something just tips you over the edge and you just lose your shit one day? Yeah. I think that's really cool. Rage. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think you're right, there's ways to do it.
I think there is ways to do it. I
think it's like anything. As long as you're not being a detriment to the party, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, as long
including being passive.
And that's the thing. It's like if you don't do any damage, but you're doing nothing but buffing everyone around you, it's like I feel like some party members would really enjoy that.
Yeah.
Like people who love doing loves like you.
Yeah.
If somebody was like, I cast haste on you
every
single turn.
Oh yeah.
Or I cast whole person for the thing in front of
absolutely.
you. I cast slow the races. It's like I mean like I feel like you could actually be super effective.
Totally.
And I think it's honestly more effective than some people would realise.
Yeah.
But there is going to be turns where you're concentrating on something, so you can't do something every turn.
It's all situational. It's also situational.
Yeah.
Do you think this is unpopular?
I think it is unpopular. I think most tables would just be like, just do the damage. Like, just do the damage because there's nothing else for you to do.
Yeah.
You're actually probably hindering more than you're helping.
Yeah. I think the take is actually, I hate pacifist characters. Do you think that's...
Hate is a strong word.
Yeah. I don't think this is unpopular. I think...
I don't think it's unpopular.
Because, I think Opie makes a really good point. Combat is the meat and potatoes of the game. Whilst I don't believe it's the meat and potatoes, combat...
It's a core pillar of the game.
It is a core pillar of the game. Yes, it is.
Roleplay,
depending on
combat.
The game, obviously. But, you have your stats. You bloody hell, 5e was built to have 6 combats in a day.
Yeah, like most like the game is built around numbers, and is definitely skewed towards numbers being good to do damage or to like help save. Like it's not skewed towards healing so much. It is a little bit more, but I definitely think that hate is strong, but I don't think it's unpopular.
Yeah, I agree. The next one is everyone needs to be forced to be a DM at least once. It makes people actually appreciate the work that your forever DM does put in.
So. I do not agree.
I don't like the term forced. Hey!
Nobody should ever be forced to do anything.
Don't like the language of you should be forced.
Especially when I'm talking about just dungeon mastering.
No one should force you to do anything.
I think that it would definitely have people understand what goes into DMing. So it's like you play Dungeons and Dragons for a long time.
Yeah.
You'll realise the amount that your dungeon master does.
And even then, I still think maybe you wouldn't,
Yeah, you maybe wouldn't.
I still think maybe you wouldn't.
To the truest of extents, to the fullest of extents. being a dungeon master would definitely show you how much is into being a dungeon master. But I don't think anyone should ever be forced to do anything, and I definitely don't think you need to.
No,
a lot of players. I feel like this comes from somebody who's maybe been a bit underappreciated.
yeah, definitely.
And then has been like, they never know how much I put
definitely,
in.
which is honestly, I think, a very valid feeling for DMs to have.
Yeah.
At least through some point in their DMing career.
Well,
you know?
it is unless your players like do truly like really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Which
they should, by the way.
Like you should every session thank your dungeon master
totally.
for the session, and you should let them know things that you really loved about the session and stuff like that.
I completely
because
agree.
it's dungeon mastering can be lonely.
Yeah.
It can be a lonely game.
Yeah.
You can be in your head. You don't know if people like things. If people don't tell you what they do and don't like, you're sort of just like stabbing in the dark and guessing.
If you're playing with your friends, you don't have your friends to bounce anything off of because they're your players.
God, especially if you're playing with strangers, yeah.
Yeah. Well, even then, I think it's actually worse if you're playing with your friends.
But I still don't think this is right.
No, absolutely. I could not agree less.
I think that dungeon mastering. I think a lot of people usually do give it a go.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are just like, I'll give it a go. I don't like it. It's not for me. But I think you were obviously the prime example.
I am the prime example of this.
You've tried it and hated it and you're never
so
going back.
I am incredibly biased, I will say.
Yeah.
But actually, I am biased, but I also don't believe, first of all, no one should ever be forced to do anything. Because, forcing people to do things works so well. Think about all the times you were a child and your parents were like, you must eat all your vegetables before you get dessert. And then you grow up and then you don't do that because why would you? Because you were forced to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think anyone should be forced to do anything. But I think this is actually a really gatekeepy take as well.
I think it's a gatekeeper take, yeah. I just do not agree with it because I do agree that I think you would appreciate more.
I agree.
Quicker. A lot of people get the appreciation without needing to dungeon master.
Yeah.
Some people will never truly know
until they're in their shoes.
shoes.
Absolutely.
So I think that is the only thing that I will agree on. That it does help people understand how much goes into dungeon mastering.
I do agree.
I don't think that everyone needs to be dungeon master. Some people don't want that pressure. Some people love being players.
Yeah.
Some people appreciate you no matter what.
Yeah. And I agree. From my perspective, I was very much under the impression I had to try it. Everyone should try it at least once. I tried it. I hated it. It was terrible for my mental health. It was terrible for my time management. You know what? And I think the thing I disliked the most about it, I didn't like seeing behind the curtain. I've said that so many times. I didn't like seeing. I don't know. I didn't like seeing what was behind.
How the sausage was made.
Yes, exactly, exactly. I didn't. Maybe because at least back then, I was quite bad at projecting my feelings onto situations.
Yeah.
Like something would happen and I'd fudge maybe some health, or I would change a path of something, or I would make something up on the spot. It would be something like that. And then I'd be like, oh man, does everyone do this? And then I'd for ages after, I'd look at any situation when I was as a player being like, yeah, but did that really happen?
Did that really have that many hit points?
I've come to the conclusion now, doesn't matter. I don't care. But when I was going through that, it made me look at everything through a really skeptical lens.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that.
I will say it did do that to me for a time as well.
Yeah,
it did do that for me for a time as well. Like when I became a player afterwards, I was like, that's not how this works.
Yeah, but I think that's the struggle of taking the DM hat off, right?
Yeah, now I just don't care.
I don't care. No, I couldn't care less.
But yeah, so
I think that's a rite of passage that everyone goes through, and I just think saying someone has to do something to understand, which, to be fair, I do agree to a degree, but at the same time, hey, human empathy. I'm sorry that OP probably played with people who didn't appreciate their work.
And that's probably why they have this take.
Far too often. But I think this is more of an issue with human empathy and human respect, as opposed to everyone should try it.
Yeah.
Because not everyone
should be forced to. And I think the one thing I think it does do is it will help you understand the game on a different level.
Yeah.
Like, you will just naturally learn more about the game, more about rules and stuff like that by being a dungeon master.
More about like stat blocks and stuff,
and how each class works.
Yeah.
Like, because if you've got a ranger, a rogue, a paladin, a cleric at your table, it's like you almost understand exactly how all of those classes work.
I agree. I think there's merit too. It will make people appreciate your Forever DM's work a bit more.
You will probably gain a lot of knowledge and appreciation by being a dungeon master, but not everyone needs to be dungeon master to appreciate and have that knowledge. Some people will just seek that out on their own.
Absolutely. And I think honestly, if you're a player, right, and you're ever worrying that you're not appreciating your DM enough, just make sure to say thank you, or use your critical thinking and just think, hey, gosh, we did so much in that session. We had that fight. Gosh, our DM actually had to plan that. Our DM had to make up these NPCs, had to make up this place, had to kind of push us down this road, you know? And if you actually sit down and think about it, I think you will realize how much work your DM does put into it. But that's the problem. Sometimes people aren't capable of doing that. Yeah. Appreciate your DMs.
Appreciate your DMs. You don't need to be a DM to appreciate how much hard work they put in.
Do you think this is unpopular?
Yeah, I think this used to be the take, but I feel like it has changed over the last couple of years, realizing that people don't need to be a dungeon master to appreciate a dungeon master.
Yeah, and
I think you should just appreciate your dungeon master as long as they're running a good game and stuff like that, and being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You don't need to appreciate them if they're a fucking asshole.
Yeah. I think the stipulation of you need to be a DM to appreciate it puts a different dynamic. I mean, there is a dynamic, like a power dynamic between the two, when you need both to run a game equally.
Yeah.
You know, but appreciate them.
Yeah.
The next one. Making and playing characters on D&D Beyond is a sign that you just don't understand your class, race, or background, and you're going to need lots of help to play. Making characters and playing D&D on paper would make people better players that understands what's actually going on.
What the fuck?
Hey, what the fuck?
What a shit fucking take.
What? I have no idea.
Stupid fucking thing.
I have no idea what this is rooted in either. That's the
this
thing.
is rooted in
okay, keeping.
If you can't memorize everything about your class and you can't do quick maths, you're an idiot.
It's over for me.
Yeah.
Hey, it's over for me.
And like the thing is, it's like I think. Here's my cook. I actually think the other way around. I think that there's on your paper character sheet.
Yeah.
There really isn't enough room for all the things you genuinely. If you want to take stock of all the things you get in your starter kit.
Yeah.
If you want to take stock of all the languages you know.
Yeah.
If you want to take stock of every weapon that you have and stuff like that, and the damage it does.
Your race bonuses, what you get for being your race, your
all
class
those things, I think, and paper can get a little messy. Paper can get a little damaged. Paper can get a little, and some people like that. The thing is, I like that. And Matthew's a big fan of that.
Yes.
He likes his piece of paper.
Yeah.
To be day 1, day 100.
Yes.
And how it's like changed. It's got a bit of bolognese on it. It's got like
this
some
crease.
On and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I like that. I personally like it as well.
I do too.
But I think there's a lot of players who are maybe a little more, sometimes a little bit more panicky, and maybe don't remember everything about their class when they're like just thinking about it or just looking at a piece of paper. But then they break it down. The brilliant thing about D&D Beyond, in my opinion, is it breaks it down into bonus actions, reactions.
Totally.
And it's like if you want to break the paper character sheet doesn't break that down for you like that. You have to break it down like that for yourself.
Like, I wonder if it's because D&D Beyond calculates automatically for you. Like, it will put together your AC for you, so you don't have to go, oh, what does my AC equal? Mm-hmm. It does your health for you. It puts your stats together for you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go down that long list and go, okay, I have this in athletics, this in acrobatics.
But also, it's just like, it calculates your AC for you, so you don't need to know the calculation. You don't need to know that it's this plus your dexterity modifier and stuff like that. Like you may know slightly less about the fundamentals of the game, but
do you still know your AC?
But but I think but it's like I think they're thinking like you don't know why it's 17.
Yeah, true. Which it's important to know why, but at the same time,
I mean, is it?
Well, no. In my opinion, no.
Is it? I don't
can understand
think it is.
from their opinion why it's important to know these things, but I just think that's just gatekeeping.
That's just gatekeeping.
Who cares? My AC is 17. Cool. Hey, DM, you rolled a 17. Yeah, me to beat it. You know what I mean? Like,
and I think there's the the quick maths thing.
Oh, come on.
I think
come
that-
on.
I think
Are we
there's-
gatekeeping math now?
Like, I don't care if you add it up on a calculator, if you
calculator.
do it in your head, if D&D Beyond does it for
Could
you.
not care
It's
less.
like, as long as I get the right damage
Yeah, who
value, it's like,
cares?
I don't care.
Who cares? Who cares how you do it? Jesus.
The only thing that I think that could have a cook is remember the other week when someone was like, I'm finished with D&D. We leveled up and my druid asked how to roll their hit points. They're asking about the D5 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that when things aren't automated for you
Yeah.
and you do need to learn the actual
Yeah.
function of how it works, you may understand, okay, how do I make my AC this? What's it made up of? That's the only thing I think doing it on paper would help you with.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time,
Who cares?
who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? Like, if you don't know how to calculate your AC,
Just ask the dungeon master.
doesn't fucking matter. Hey, oh my god, we all have phones.
Yeah.
We all have books. You know what I mean?
Like-
And I'm a mix. I like to use D&D Beyond to put all my things in. By the way, D&D Beyond is a complex beast.
It's not the easiest
I
thing to use.
will say, if you don't have all the source books for everything you want, when you get into the realms of having to like homebrew your class abilities,
Custom make your class abilities.
that's witchcraft in itself.
Yeah.
And I like to build my character out on D&D Beyond to make sure that I am doing the math right. I'm terrible at math. Look at me. I'm a creative. I'm terrible at math.
Yeah, I'm a creative.
I'm not good at math, and I like to do everything on D&D Beyond to make sure that it's accurate. I copy everything down onto like a paper sheet as well.
Yeah.
And then I create my own resources to manage my abilities. Like, if it matters to people, they'll do it. And there is an argument to be made that you should know what your class is capable of. Not in the beginning, not for a brand new character, but eventually you should.
But I think that's where I think that the argument falls apart, because I think you'll actually know better with D&D Beyond because
it's all there.
Because it's all there and it all breaks down into action bonus.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd learn your action economy better.
Yeah, and like your
with something
spells,
like D&D
it tracks
Beyond.
your spells, your spell slots.
Yeah.
It tracks your racial things, like the
Yeah.
Goliath thing, the fires burn. I can just go boop, and it's like, okay, now I have one left.
Yeah.
And when you level up, it goes, oh, hey, you've got a new proficiency bonus. Here, you have
It's like with
more of
Baldur's
these
Gate.
things.
Like, when you level up in Baldur's Gate, it's like, oh, you got a new class feature, you got this, you got that. It's just like, you don't get to do it manually there.
Yeah.
You don't have to like whip the book open
I
and
just
look
think
at what you didn't get.
this take is like, yeah, you toil over your paper character sheet, and every time you level up, you have to manually go through all your things and erase things, and when you get a new proficiency bonus, you have to do it, and therefore it makes you better than.
No, I will say, I do really enjoy doing that.
Oh, yeah, no.
But that's
no.
that's the thing. It's like, I don't think I'm better than anyone.
No.
Because I do that.
No.
But man, leveling up, getting the book open, flipping to the page,
no,
and being like, oh, or I go down the level thing, and I'm like, oh, proficiency bonus,
Same.
I get this thing,
Yeah.
fourth level spell,
Yeah.
and then I like started to put it down on my character sheet, and then I flip to my subclass, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, see, it could
It's like
never be me because I pre-plan my characters like 10 levels in advance.
Yeah, but you also do it with the book.
I do, I certainly do.
Like me and you sit down and we like go through things and we think about best options and stuff like that, and that excites both of us.
Yeah, hey, it doesn't make you any better than someone who saves time by putting stuff into D&D Beyond. I think this is such a shit take. And I do not know. I would genuinely be interested in knowing what OP's argument for it is.
I genuinely believe it's things like how AC is calculated, how passive perception is calculated.
You can Google that.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's that's probably the take. I imagine.
Well, in my opinion, that's a foolish take.
Yeah, I
Fool
agree.
of a two. Yeah, I don't like that take at all. I'd be interested in what you think. Do you think there's any merit to?
Does it make you a better or worse player playing on D&D Beyond?
Yeah, and I don't. The argument of it automatically does everything for you isn't an argument. Like, good, you're saving time. Time is so finite.
Yeah.
Like, as long as you're hitting the right numbers and doing the right things in game, and then if you're curious, you can look it up. Like, I don't know. I just think, Myrkul does it is it's lazy. I don't know. It's just
Gatekeeper.
Yeah, it is. It is, in my humble opinion.
Gatekeeper.
All right. Do you think that's unpopular?
I think that's unpopular.
I think that is.
I think
unpopular.
that's a fucking pretty shit
Yeah,
take.
I think so too. The next one is people need to be honest when they rip ideas from the internet or from a show. Like, be honest about it, because if you try to hide your character made of rubber and I discover One Piece, I will think you are infinitely more cringe than just saying, I want to be like Luffy. Much like real people, characters are a hodgepodge of different ideas and concepts, and I respect those who say I'm cringe and I'm proud way more. This is written very rancidly. This is written rancidly.
And the thing is, it's like, what if I took the fact that my character was made of rubber and then gave it this wild ass backstory that has literally nothing to do with One Piece? It just means it's like, what came first, One Piece or Super Stretch Armstrong or something like? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't actually know, but I'm pretty sure the elasticated limbs isn't the first thing of One Piece. Did the person who made One Piece have to go, by the way, I got the idea from here?
Yeah.
It's like, how far does it go? It's I think I love to take from popular media, and I'm very open about that because I think that people listen to what we have to say. I want people to know that even me as a dungeon master, who I think has not even original ideas, but I think I have pretty cool ideas.
Yeah, you do.
But I'm happy to be like, yeah, I just fucking stole this. Like, the idea came from here and I changed it to this and I like this.
Yeah.
Like, just because it gave me the fuel to have an idea doesn't mean I need to announce it for anyone.
Like having to hold your hands up and be like, look, okay, right, I did this. The worst thing is, I actually think OP has merit to this. They've just worded it, in my opinion, horribly. Like, I'm cringe and I'm proud. Like, just because you take inspiration from something doesn't make you cringe. Yeah. I think that's the crux of why I think this is so rancid, is because OP is saying that if you take an idea from something, you are automatically cringe. But hey, you should wear it like a badge of honor, where I don't agree. I just
don't think that's true.
What is art if inspiration? You know what I mean?
Like I've had loads of ideas, and there's this one idea that I've got in my new campaign that is like directly tied, like on a fundamental level, it is like inseparable from another idea that I've taken it from. But it's my own take. It's different for thousands of reasons.
Totally.
And
it's different because you are retelling it. And hey, there's 4 people with their grubby little hands all over it who are going to influence it too. Yeah. I think with something like D&D, and I do think this is specific to D&D.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when there's other people involved, it makes it different immediately. The second you process information through yourself, it's different anyway. Like, we say this all the time because people are always like, I'm scared I'm not going to be original enough. I kind of want to do this, but how do I make it original? I am telling you, nothing is original, and no one cares.
And no one cares.
You also,
apart from this motherfucker.
You also don't have to be like, hey, look, I've taken this. If you want to be like, by the way, my character's like Luffy from One Piece, and like, that is absolutely your prerogative, but no, it's not like copyright infringement. You're going to get sued, get a cease and desist.
You're playing it at a table with your friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, what is... It's sort of like, all of us love Lord of the Rings. Most of us love Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Most of us love Lord of the Rings. And, you know...
Right? Yep.
Most of us love Lord of the Rings. And there's nothing more than you want to be Aragorn, Legolas. Maybe not so much Gimli for you.
No.
You want to be Samwise.
Yeah.
You want to be the brave. You want to be the small hobbit that overcame the fucking most humongous of odds. Yeah. You want to be Gandalf. You want to be the Blade Singer. You want to be the fucking Spell Sword. You want to be the White Wizard. You want to be the Grey Wizard. You want to be, you want to be those things. And it's just like, where is the place to do that more than D&D?
Totally.
So, like, you're basically saying, hey, by the way, all those things that made you fall in love with fantasy, you have to explicitly say, hey, I fell in love with fantasy and now I want to be Samwise Gamgee and I'm cringe. Shut the fuck up. It's such a fucking... It's such a bad take. It's insane.
Yeah, but actually, the thing is, at the end, much like real people, characters are a hodgepodge of different ideas and concepts. I couldn't agree more. I totally agree. But they've just laced it with this. Hey, if you copy from something, by the way, you're cringe and you should just wear it. Like, yeah.
You're not cringe.
No, you're not.
If you like something that you've watched, that you've read, that you've heard about, anything like that,
let it inspire you.
Make characters like it. Like, fulfill the fantasy of. That's the point of D&D.
Yeah,
fulfilling the fantasy.
It's
like. Does this person think that every subclass in D&D is cringe because it's born from like when the Blade Singer, it's a fantasy, it's a spell sword fantasy, it's like a Gandalf fantasy. Like, these things are like really cool. Blood Hunter, it's like we've seen it in popular media for ages. Do you think as soon as you play a Blood Hunter in D&D that you're cringe because there's fucking Trevor Belmont is a thing?
Yeah.
It's the stupidest fucking. Do you know what? I hate you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I think God, I had a point, but you threw me off.
Sorry, this boils my piss.
Yeah.
This fucking infuriates the shit out of me because I don't understand why you play D&D if you don't want to fulfill fantasies.
You know what? I will say this is giving an undertone of, they used specifically the example of Luffy from One Piece, which is a manga and an anime.
Yeah.
The D&D subreddit is inherently anti-anime. I will say inherently. I think a lot of places on the internet are anti-anime.
Why?
Because people think it's cringe, and people don't like people enjoying
the
other
only
things.
Cringe thing here, my friend,
I know.
is you.
I completely agree. So I get the feeling that this is tinged with obviously thinking that people who copy things are cringe, but also like, oh yeah, you're trying to be this like anime rubber man in game, and everyone knows your jig is up. Everyone knows, and you should just say it so it's not cringe and awkward. I think that's kind of what OP is saying, which I think is still a rancid take, by the way. But I just hope if there's anything you can take away from this, you're not cringe from wanting to emulate something that you've seen. People love tropes. Why do you think when things happen in movies, people go, oh, when there's a plot twist, people go, oh.
And then wanting to have that in your game, wanting to like fulfill that fantasy as a dungeon master or a player with a storyline or a character, you're cringe.
Do you think this is unpopular?
Yeah.
I you know what? I feel like there's two parts to
I
this.
think, do you want to know what? As this has gone on, this has just made me more upset.
Yeah, I know, I can tell.
This has made me more upset. This is the moment, that it's a game.
It's a game.
I'm an adult.
Everything's fine.
I need to calm down. That's me right now about this person. Oh my god, just if you follow this podcast for a while, my biggest thing is, this is a game where you're supposed to have fun.
Yeah, totally.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Be who you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Be whatever sparks joy, as long as you're being nice, as long as you're being accepting, as long as you're being not hateful, all those things. You could literally play Legolas.
Oh my god.
Fuck.
Yeah,
you could come in and be a blonde-haired elf with blue eyes that's tall. And be a fighter or whatever.
Yeah, and I also think if people have an issue with that, that's absolutely their
that's
problem.
on them.
Yours.
And it's just like, this is a place where all of those things are supposed to come true. Like, you're playing the things that you've idolized, maybe as a child, of growing up and stuff like that. You're allowed to be a Jedi. They made a Psi warrior so you could literally be a Jedi.
Yeah. And I think if you're the type of person and you're listening to this and you think it is cringe when people try to be Luffy from One Piece, they try to be Goku from Dragon Ball Z, they try to be, I don't know, I can't think of any other examples, lol.
There's
like, but
millions.
Anyone tries to be anyone.
You try to be Eren Yeager.
And you go, God, that's a bit cringe. And they're like, oh, they're just copying that character. I think you need to think about why you're having that knee-jerk reaction. Is it because you think they're not being original enough? Is it you think they're stealing? Oh, they're stealing from what? They're stealing from what? Things that don't exist? They're stealing from probably corporations. Yeah. You know what I mean? And they're not stealing because they're putting their own twist on it. I think we need to break down why we look at these people and go, oh, that's unoriginal. Oh, you're just being this character. Like, is it oh, I got you. Oh yeah, I see through you and I see what you're doing here. Because I don't know. I just think there's no merit to that. There's just let people enjoy things.
Just let people enjoy things. Yeah. Like, just mind your own business and let people enjoy things.
Yeah, I completely agree. Right, the next one. Gee, let's move away from that one.
That one was pestilent. That was pestilent vibes.
The next one is, I'm game to play whatever the DM has prepared. No, I don't need to run around in a sandbox. It's okay to let me know I'm off track and where the next fun thing is. I like to see the DM get excited for the next reveal. I spend most of my time supervising other people's calamities. I just want to hit things with magic and enjoy villains swearing revenge.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Sounds
same.
so good to me.
Same.
Like, and that's the thing, like, I think that I've had a different take on this over the years. Like, we were like, oh, we don't like sandbox games, but it's like, I think we actually do like sandbox games. We just played in a really bad sandbox game that we didn't enjoy. But now we're playing in a more of a sandbox game.
Yeah.
And that I'm running, and we're really enjoying it. And we do like more focused things sometimes.
Yes.
And one dungeon master can run two different types of games.
Totally.
But if you are running something that is very linear, that is very conceptual, that is very like, here's the next story beat, here's the next story beat, and if you go over here, there really isn't anything for you because that's not what I've planned.
Yeah.
And as a dungeon master, that's not going to excite me, sort of thing. Like, that's totally fine. And I think you need to understand that that's what your dungeon master's about. And I think it's really good for players to know what the dungeon master's about and be like, hey, if I'm going off track, bring me back because I want to do the thing that you got planned.
Yeah, I completely agree. And you know what? I have noticed a shift on the D&D subreddit from, oh, we hate railroading, we need sandbox games, stop controlling us, to actually more takes like this being like, I don't care. I just want to do what the DM wants us to do.
I'm going to have the best time at my game if my dungeon master's having the best time at their game.
If we're actually doing what the dungeon master's prepared as opposed to us sitting around for 4 hours doing fuck all.
Or if the dungeon master's a great sandbox DM, then them letting us know that wherever we go there'll be something for them.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Like, it's like understanding each other. It's like, you're like, I don't really like sandbox games. It's like, do you not like sandbox games? Or do you like sandbox games when your dungeon master's great at being a sandbox dungeon master? It's like, I think just honestly, if every table plays the dungeon master's strengths,
I agree.
I think they'll probably have the best time.
I agree, and I think the same goes for a game that I don't want to say railroady. I want to say a game that is more linear. Yeah. Like, and when you play in a game
my last campaign.
Yeah, and when you play in a game that's more linear, it's not railroading. It's just following the story beats and taking the bait and taking the hook. You know what I mean? And I think, honestly, granted, you can't expect every DM to go into their games understanding exactly what their storytelling is. I think that's something that you do develop over time.
Yeah,
right?
and just if you're a new dungeon master, you'll figure out what type of dungeon master you are as you go.
You certainly will.
But as a seasoned dungeon master, I think just being honest with the players, being like, I do run more of a sandbox game, so like, don't be afraid to be like pointing the map and be like, I want to go there.
Yeah, and you know, I think also saying, and like, if you're ever unsure, you can ask me.
Yeah.
Because there's times we are just not sure what to do, and we turn to you, and we're like, or we turn to your NPCs, and we're like, so what do you think the next best step is? And we're not afraid to do that because we know that you won't fuck us over.
Yeah.
You won't drag it out. You won't force us to do anything, but we trust you to give us a guiding hand, whether it's in game or above table, to be honest with you, because we do that sometimes too. And I think for a lot of DMs, when moments like that happen, a lot of DMs are scared to break immersion, to be like, yeah, no, you guys are barking up the wrong tree. And I think because of the rhetoric on the internet was, we hate railroading, oh my god, we hate it.
It's all you can't break my immersion.
You can't give them any clues, any hints.
Oh god, believe me, we've heard that recently.
You know what I mean? I think it's put some DMs into a headspace of, I couldn't possibly give them a hint above table.
Yeah, because that would ruin the game for them.
Exactly. And to be fair, that could be the case for some people. I'm not saying that it isn't. But I think for at least for our table, because we have great communication and we know how each other work from years of playing with each other, that worked for us. So I don't think this is an unpopular opinion anymore. I don't think it is. I would love to say it's not. Yeah. I would love to say it's not. And if you want to know, you are the one that spends more time with it than I. If you think that's the case, then I think that's awesome, and I think that the community is definitely moving in the right direction. I agree. I think the term railroading, by the way, railroading is still bad. Railroading is bad in a way when your DM is forcing you to do things
that you don't want
that make no sense, that rigidly stick to a plan, that don't allow you to do it. against you having fun.
But I think the community has realized over the last year, 2 years, that there is a difference between storytelling and railroading.
Yeah, at least that's the impression I'm getting.
Yeah, I agree. And I love a good... I want to do what the Dungeon Master's got planned. Yeah, because that means I'm going to have the most fun.
I'm optimizing my fun time.
I'm going to find the secrets. I'm going to be the NPCs. I'm going to have the combats. I'm going to get the magic items.
We don't have to worry about, are we doing the right thing here?
But this is the thing. It's like... This is the first time I've done it, but I'm super excited to do it because I love to improvise. And I love to, make up stories as we go and stuff like that. Yeah, I've got my set things that I know, but I love just sort of seeing what you guys are enjoying and sort of going with it. Whereas Matthew has always been like, I've got this planned. Let's do what I've got planned.
And we go, cool.
And we know as players,
we're gonna have the best time when we do.
We're gonna have the best time when we do what he's got.
Totally.
What he's got planned.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And that's just the way people are.
Yeah, it is. That's just a nuance of DMing that everyone will experience 100%. At some point. All right, this is the last 3. I think I've timed this episode all right.
You've done a brilliant
job. I didn't know how many is this? I don't know how many I put in. It's a lot. That
was like 5 or 6.
It's more than I normally do because these are a bit short, I suppose. And the next one is playing D&D was better when we were influenced by fantasy novels and sword and sorcery movies instead of video games and actual play podcasts and videos. Why?
Who cares?
Why? but again, I want to know why.
Just so you know, nothing's changed for you.
Yeah. Oh God. Hey, if you still want to be influenced by fantasy novels, sword and sorcery
Tolkien,
movies, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Hey, look, you can still be that.
If your table plays that way, and you like the old fantasy sort of vibe, like the really trad fantasy, the really old school fantasy, play that game, baby.
Yeah, totally.
If that's the game you want to play it. No one's stopping you, and I think that you should play at the table that you want to play at. Now, you tell me how I need to play. And we ain't jiving, by the way.
And the thing is, I do actually understand I do understand the take of I prefer a high fantasy D&D setting. Yeah. I get that take. I used to have that take. I don't anymore. I used to have that take from playing in a game where it was very cyberpunk inspired, right? And the setting actually was really cool, but I just didn't enjoy the game and I didn't enjoy the mechanics around it. But actually, I came away from that game being like, no, I prefer high fantasy. I don't. Turns out I don't. It was just a personal thing with that personal campaign.
Yeah, I just didn't think we enjoyed that campaign at all.
Yeah, which put a skew on it. But I do very much understand people who are like, I like my D&D to be high fantasy because that's the type of game you enjoy playing. Yeah, and that's your preference.
And there's parts of me that every now and then does enjoy going back to high fantasy.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I do love... And my games are usually pretty high fantasy.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, and I don't really lean too much into things like steampunk and stuff like that. But I think when something just gets bigger, let's just say Dungeons and Dragons, it gets bigger, more people see it. People aren't like you. Not everyone is like you. People want different things. They want the sci-fi. They want the fantasy high. They want the high school setting. They want the wizard school. They want
the
Spelljammers.
Academy. You know what I mean?
They want just different things from the game. They want to run their entire campaign in the Astral Sea.
Absolutely.
They want to run their whole campaign in the Feywild. Yeah. They want all these different things. They want these like Nordic folk tales, these Irish folk tales and stuff like that to like directly inspire their campaigns. And that's fine. It's like, just as it gets bigger, you will get more. But the thing that never changes is what you like.
God, absolutely.
If you like high fantasy, fine.
Yeah.
Play high fantasy.
I totally agree.
The thing is, I don't even know if it's so much the setting. Is it more play style? I think this take could be more play style because, a lot of fucking real gatekeeping people disliked when Critical Role turned up because...
Which is the vibe I'm getting here, saying, they don't like actual play podcasts and videos.
They turned the game into more of a storytelling role-playing game than a dungeon crawling game.
Yes.
It's not that those games didn't exist.
No.
Those games did
they
exist.
Just brought it to the forefront.
But they made that the focal point for a lot of people.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And
you're allowed to not like those things.
I don't like those things, but it doesn't mean that the game was better when.
I think that's it.
That's just a stupid thing to say.
It's the stipulation of it was better when. And hey, we've all heard it. Oh, the kids these days, old man yells at clouds. And I'm not saying that is the situation here. But
I mean, it kind of is.
It's kind of giving that vibe. And you know what? Once again, like instead of video games, it's very much giving these new kids bringing in their newfound
gadgets, their fizz bombs and the boom apps.
Yeah, and you know what? This isn't as gatekeepery as some of the other ones we've had, but I think this is still.
It's pretty gatekeepery.
It is still a little bit gatekeepery, and I think the most important thing to remember, because by the way, change is scary. It is scary. Seeing a hobby you've been in, I'm just speculating here. Seeing a hobby you've been in for a long time, knowing it then, knowing it now, very different. Change is scary, but just know you don't have to change. The way you play D&D can stay exactly the same
100%.
as it always has been, and no one definitely should force you to change.
No.
Is my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think, hey, it wasn't better back then. Hey, it wasn't better back then, but there's also nothing to say it's better now. But better is very, very, very subjective and very personal.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I indeed. Do you think that's unpopular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you would have a really loud minority on the internet who would disagree.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think if you took the opinion of every person who plays D&D, you're gonna be in the minority.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I agree.
The minority are always very loud.
Yeah, they always are. Hey, loudest in the room.
Especially when it comes to D&D.
Yes. All right, this is the penultimate.
Oh my god.
The game is just an excuse to hang out with my friends. It doesn't need to be balanced or well designed or taken seriously. I don't love the game itself. I love the people that play it with me.
100%.
That's so fair.
And this is for all of you dungeon masters out there. This is exactly what I do. It's exactly what I remind myself of every single time I get a little tilted about anything. A little bit like, I didn't do as good as I wish I did, and that combat didn't, and this story. I was just like, are all my friends having a good time? Yeah, cool, sick. And I think it just brings me back to the fact that
to earth a little bit.
It's just like we're just getting together.
Yep.
5 friends.
Yeah, because we want to.
Because we just love hanging out.
Get 5 adults in a room together every week, by the way.
It's our favorite day of the week. We get to hang out. We usually eat some good food.
Yep. We have a little bit of a gossip beforehand.
Yeah, and then we just have a fucking laugh.
Yeah, we do.
Sometimes we fucking cry.
Yep.
Sometimes we fucking on the edge of our seats.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we finish playing and we go, man, can't wait for next week.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we know we're going to see our friends again next week. Yeah. Even when we don't play D&D, we make a point to hang out with each other on those days anyway. Like, even if we're not playing. Like, I think this is why everyone should play D&D. Yeah. Of course, there's variables. It doesn't need to be balanced, well designed, taken seriously. If you want it to be that, it absolutely
can be.
Yeah. Totally.
And that's fine. If you don't care about it being balanced, great. But you want to tell a good story, awesome. Yeah. If you don't care about telling a good story, you just want it to be really mechanically challenging, great.
If you want it to be serious, of course it can be, of course. But the crux of it is, I'm hanging out with my friends. This is why we do it. We play games to have fun with the people we like. And as long as you're having fun, it doesn't matter. Who cares? No one on the internet, including us, by the way, no one on the internet's opinion matters. No one in your life outside of the game matters. It doesn't matter. As long as you're all having fun, you're enjoying how you play. God, you could be using 1,000 homebrew rules. It doesn't matter. If it works for you. And that's what we say at the beginning of all of the homebrew rules episodes. We're like, if you like these rules, don't let us tell you otherwise.
But we didn't say it exclusively in
one episode. One time. Yeah. Like I think this is why we play D&D. This is the heart of D&D.
We play to have fun, and if you're not having fun, what can you do to have fun? Yeah. Like if there's something about dungeon mastering that isn't fun for you, man, I just hate planning. Don't fucking plan.
Yeah.
Don't plan. You might run a slightly worse session, but at least you had a fucking good time. Like who fucking cares? Like That's exactly what I did. It's exactly the change I made. I hated planning. I hated sitting there and like stressing myself out. I make my maps. I note down names of my NPCs, and that is it right now.
Yeah.
And I'm having the best time.
Yeah, totally.
We're having a great time, and God, I just want to play it every week.
Same.
And
I want to play every day. I want to play every waking minute of my life.
Yeah, just good. It's just good shit.
Yeah, and you know what? If you're not enjoying something, think why. Because you should be.
You should be
enjoying yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. There are going to be moments in D&D, especially as the DM, you're going to be a bit stressed out. You're going to be worried. You're going to be unsure. You're going to be anxious. Those are human emotions. They're totally normal.
Yeah.
But as long as for the majority of it, you're enjoying yourself.
You can be a little bit nervous before a big fight. You can be a little bit
totally.
nervous before the last session because you want it to be epic and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
of course.
But at the end of the day, if you get together, you're fucking like having some snacks, you're ordering some pizza, you're having fun, you're having a couple of beers, you're having a smoke, whatever it is that you enjoy when you play D&D, like, as long as you come away being like, that was fun. Who fucking cares?
Absolutely. And do not let any outside influence tell you otherwise.
Yeah. Like, your story's not epic enough. I'm having fun though. Who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Exactly. Do you think that's unpopular?
Yes. No, I don't. I think it's a very popular opinion. And I think people are realising that now.
Yeah.
Especially with the times that we've just gone through in recent years. Yeah. And just the world that we live in en masse, is a very rough place. I think if everyone gets to have that escapism, Critical Role did a State of the Role last night. And that one thing that they hit home towards the end, they were like, keep joining us, keep escaping with us. It's an escape from this world for us. It's an escape from this world for you. And that is really important right now. Yeah. And that's what it is, man. We just forget about everything else that's going on. Doesn't matter what's happening at work, doesn't matter what's happening at home. I get together with my fucking homies. Me and my homies love D&D.
Yeah, all my homies love D&D.
All my homies love D&D.
Yeah. Must let the homies know I fuck with D&D.
Gotta let the homies know I fuck with D&D.
Alright, this is the last one. People infantilize new players too much. 5e is not a complicated system, and it shouldn't be streamlined as it is. Shouldn't be as streamlined as it is. Like, all subclasses should be available at level 1.
But they did that with 2024 and just made them all available level 3.
Yeah, I think there's 2 points to this. One which I agree with, one which I do not agree with.
Oh, go on then.
People infantilize new players too much. I agree. People
what does it
go
mean to infantilize a new player?
To be like, oh, you stupid little baby child. Here, you know nothing and you're incapable of learning, so let me spoon
feeded.
Me
when I'm fed by the spoon.
Let me spoon feed you all this information and treat you like you're an idiot, basically.
Okay.
Which I do agree with. I think some of the content geared towards new players is kind of patronizing.
Like what?
Like the things being like, you know what? I don't know. You know what? I don't actually have an example of that, Jack.
Oh, is there content that is like made for new players?
Sorry, when I say like content, I mean like stuff like on Reddit.
Oh, well, I'm just
like people being like, someone being like, hey, I'm a new player, and for example, I want to try and do this thing. I want to try XYZ. I want to build my character like XYZ. How would I do this? And people come in and they're just like, you know, it's D&D and you can do whatever you want. And it's just a stupid game. Like, don't worry about it. It's things like that. New players being told information of being like, yeah, like, why are you asking such a stupid question? Like, I think people, I guess that's not infantilizing though, is it?
Yeah. I think... is this person saying that 5e has become too dumbed down?
Yeah, they're saying 5e is not complicated, which I disagree with.
So wrong.
Which I completely disagree with.
It's not complicated for you, OP, who knows 5e, who maybe have played many editions, maybe plays Pathfinder 2. I don't know anything about you, but I imagine you know 5e.
Yeah.
You've maybe known editions before it, so you've had a jumping off point. It's like, I jump straight to 2024. Easy, because I know 5e. It's like... There's a handful of changes. Some things are different. There's still some things added in, some things taken away. Some spells are different. But at the core of the game, I understand what it's about. I understand how the game works, so it's easy.
Yeah.
For somebody who's never played the game before, who doesn't understand anything about tabletop role-playing games, looks at those 7 little math rocks in front of them and is like,
what the fuck?
Okay, so this is the game. Oh yeah, that's a utensil of the game. Now you've got to figure out what race you want to be, what class you want to be, what subclass you want to be.
Yeah.
and then you're gonna have to understand action economy. You're gonna have to understand how to use all your skills, all your saving throws, all your proficiencies, all those things. They don't know what a skill is. They don't know what an attack roll means.
No.
They don't know how to roll initiative.
No.
You are curse of knowledging.
Very much so.
Because you know, you're like, how don't you know?
Yeah.
I taught my brother how to play D&D, and fuck me, it was hard.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
It's hard to know where to begin.
And,
for somebody who doesn't have a clue.
I can't really remember now the learning curve of D&D because it's so long ago, but I do remember being very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
When we got together for a session 0 to build our characters, I remember sitting there absolutely so confused and bombarded with information.
It's like, your strength is 10, that means you've got a 0. What the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Why does 10 mean 0? What does that
mean? Oh my god.
Why does 8 mean -1?
Sometimes now, even I still get that wrong.
Why is 20 a +5?
Yeah. Hey, what's an AC?
What's an AC? What's an armor
what's
class?
my proficiency? What's a proficiency bonus?
It's like, we get it.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah.
You and me.
Yeah.
We get it.
We do.
This guy?
Oh, no, not
No
a single
idea.
thought.
My mum and dad?
Not a single
clue.
idea. God,
I
no.
say proficiency bonus to them.
They go.
They don't. We don't know. I don't know.
That's like a different language entirely.
We're speaking jargon that we understand.
Totally.
We're speaking in terms and phrases that we get.
Totally.
But to somebody who has no fucking clue how to play the game, you are so silly to think that it's easy because you know.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? I think you're right. Actually, I think I don't think people. I think infantilizing means to treat someone like they're stupid or like they're a baby and like they don't know better. And I think that's patronizing. I think patronizing someone and assuming that they're never going to understand.
But I think tuning it. The problem is this person wouldn't infantilize somebody enough. Whereas I, who has taught my brother how to play, now I know I really need to treat them like they know nothing.
Yeah, well, because they do know
because
nothing.
they know nothing.
Yeah,
That's the way it needs to be. And I think it's the OP's using the curse of knowledge and being like, we don't need to dumb it down this much, or we do. For people who've never played the game before, we need to dumb it down even more.
Yeah. You know what? I actually really agree. What do you think about subclasses being available at level 1?
I mean, why would you do that? Like, I think what they're trying to say is
they should just have all the information from the beginning.
I think what they're saying is them as a player playing as just a fighter for 2 levels is fucking boring. I think that's what they're saying. They're saying at level 1 I have a sword and second wind. That's boring. So they want the subclass. But I think I genuinely believe that all subclasses at level 3 is because loads of new people are coming into the game.
The
D&D movie was a new thing. The new fucking systems come out.
Imagine having to learn the game, your race, your class, your subclass
all at the same time.
At level 1.
Like starting as a level 1 fighter with a 2-handed sword, and you get a bonus action second wind. Is perfect. Yeah, and then imagine moving into a battle master fighter who gets all these maneuvers, all these fucking weapon properties. You spend level 1 and level 2 really with the basics so you can understand the game.
I agree.
And that's why they do it.
Yeah, I
and
very
also
much
because
agree.
it's for a lot of people it's the 0 to hero fantasy.
Yeah, I completely
You start
agree.
off with nothing and then you hone your skills to become a battle master, to become a side fighter, and stuff like that.
Now, are we level 2 in our current campaign? And are all of us desperate to be level 3 so we get our subclasses? Yes.
Yeah, and the moment I say you're level 3,
we're going to lose our minds.
Everyone's going to lose their fucking minds.
I know.
And
that's an argument for why,
It feels sick.
Yeah, but, have we sat there many times and gone, I fucking wish I was level 3. But it gives you something to look forward to.
It does,
it?
And all of you are buzzing. And the thing is, I think
it's something to look forward to.
And I don't like the whole game like this. But right now you're having to really use your brains.
Which I enjoy. I truly do.
And later you'll use your brains in different ways. It's like, how can I make this spell? How can I make this like class ability work for me in the situation? But right now you're like,
We got nout.
How?
Yeah, we got fucking nout.
I need to think
And
of
I
a
like
good
that.
plan.
I like that.
And that's good.
It means we really do have to consider everything.
Now, I don't think the whole game should be that.
No.
Because that would get boring eventually. Bless you.
Oh,
Bless
sorry.
you.
Bloody hell.
I think that would get boring eventually. But that's the whole point. It's like, right now, you're just using the very limited tools you have to figure out problems.
Yeah.
And then eventually you'll get a subclass. And then eventually you'll get more stuff from your subclass. And then you'll start to use those things.
Yeah. I agree.
All right?
Yeah. I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh my gosh.
Say cucumber.
Cucumber.
So this person wants stuff at level 1 because they know the game. So I don't want to spend 2 levels as a fucking boring ass fighter. I don't want to spend 2 levels as a barbarian with no subclass. Like I mean,
same. But I you know what?
The thing is, fine.
Yeah. No, I honestly think genuinely all
Get your subclass at level 1.
All classes being at level 3, subclasses, sorry, level 3, I think is a good change for the game on a whole.
I think it's a good, probably why people didn't pick Druid. Druid was, in a survey, Druid was the least played class. Well, no, Druid's got it at 2nd level, didn't they?
Yes.
Because not only did they get subclasses at 2nd level, don't they get Wild Shape at 2nd level?
Yes.
So they get not only the most complicated fucking class feature in the game at level 2, they also get their subclass at level 2. And they're a full prepared spellcaster.
Yeah.
It's just like, that's a lot to take on for new players.
Take on.
Like, you know, Warlock at level 1, Cleric at level 1, Sorcerer at level 1, Wizard at level 2.
You know what? Warlock with the invocations and then the subclass and then all the different proficiencies you get for it. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of information.
I agree. I think it is a lot. But, you know, I think it all being at level 3 is better for the game.
Yeah.
Because it means that multi-classing is a little bit more of a risk that can pay off eventually. Just everyone would just, you know, everyone would just fucking go into fucking Warlock and get the subclass, or go into Sorcerer and get a subclass and stuff like that. And like, was Sorcerer level 1 or 2?
No, I've never played Sorcerer. No idea.
Am I on, or is it 3?
No idea. Could not tell you.
I'm all over the place. I can't remember. I haven't played 5e in so long.
Yeah.
I just can't even remember.
Listen, if the bottom pick in the pile for me is a Sorcerer. Next to a Wizard.
Tell you what looks good though.
Go on.
Spellfire Sorcerer.
Let's go.
I like the way that looks. I had to look at all the new subclasses because we're going to do it on stream tonight. We're going to like go over them all.
Not tonight, as in when you're watching. Sorry.
Tonight and Friday. The VOD will be up there if you want to go and watch it.
Yes.
We're going to go talk about all. I can't wait. They look really good.
That's very exciting.
Some of the new ones, like I think the only one that they brought back. No, they brought back Knowledge Domain Cleric, and they brought back Bladesinger.
Yeah.
They were the 2 that they brought back.
Yes.
And the rest of them are new, I think. And they're pretty cool.
Cool.
I'm really excited.
I'm excited as well. I am as well. Do you think this is unpopular?
Yeah. I think if you really do you want to know what? Do you want to know what? I think you might think this is unpopular, and then you try and teach somebody how to play D&D, and you realise you're completely wrong.
You know what? Like, it's so funny, because as I was going through this, there was something being like, 5e is such a complex system, and then so many people were like, it's not complicated at all. And
it fucking is.
It's wild. Like, I feel like so many people compare 5e to other TTRPGs. And you know, when you look at 5e compared to Pathfinder 2e, oh my god, they're totally
D&D is an easy system to learn.
Absolutely.
It is an easy system to learn.
I think people, again, like you said, people forget that people start with zero knowledge.
They've never played a TTRPG.
It's all the same because it's all so alien.
Playing Pathfinder 2e and playing D&D 5e, as a brand new player, they're probably just as hard.
They're exactly the same.
They're exactly the same.
Exactly
because you have no fucking clue what you're doing.
Totally, I agree. But you know, for a seasoned TTRPG player,
but for let's say somebody who plays Monster of the Week or Call of the Cthulhu, Call of the Cthulhu,
Call of the Cthulhu,
the one and only Cthulhu. Somebody who's played systems like that before and is like, oh, I'm gonna play 5e or I'm gonna play Pathfinder 2e. You'll probably have an easier time learning 5e.
His little feet.
But this doesn't mean they're not complicated.
Can you see his feet? He's having a dream. He's having a big dream. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, this is this is a. I think
this is a biased take.
I think that sadly this is a popular take until you actually try and teach somebody who has no clue how to play TTRPGs a system, then you realise that you are actually in fact wrong.
Yeah, and I'd never believe in throwing people in at the deep end. I certainly don't. I don't believe in fend for yourself. Don't believe in it. I think that's why things like D&D are really hard to get into, and we know that for a fact because we have a huge community of people, a huge majority of which are like, I want to get into D&D, but God, I don't know how.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, I gotta go. I need to go blow my nose. I must.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It was so
you.
good to have you. Tell me if you think if we were wrong in any of these, if you think differently, and why in the comments. I'd love to hear your opinions on it. Do you think that 5e is an easy system to learn? Are you thinking that because you know about systems? Do you know what I mean?
Indeed.
Let me know about that one. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Consider checking out the Patreon. New campaign updates going up every month. New entity advice streams going up every single month. Come and join us. Come and join us on Twitch.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Stop watching this video after you've liked, commented, and subscribed, and then come and join us on Twitch.
Indeed, we would love to have you.
Yeah, go check out the merch. www.aldridgepodblast.com. Yeah. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Yes.
We have been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Monday. Bye!
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities:
Hoobs,
Ariel,
Tula,
Runarian,
Arkham Labs Cosplayer,
Maddie, Luna,
Teddysaurus,
Caspian, J-Spot,
Ultrafail,
Dallin M,
Sleepy,
Joe Dragonlord 2,
Alistar,
Lawkeeper Society,
Ricky B,
Danny Phantom,
Catherine,
Faustskin,
Azuriel,
Panda Queen Plays,
Xylo Boy,
Lucas Iapetus,
Luna River, Christomancy,
The Tacos Are Here,
Gavin,
Raynanana,
Aubrey in Spring,
Scrimbles,
KC Joe 1313,
Keplin 1000,
Pretend Itsu Ace,
Ash Z 22,
Liaxel 8,
Bearwell Fox,
Captain Hades,
Dana, Sloby 1,
Amelia A,
Rebecca K,
Adam D.
Banoffee Spy. Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.